have is a general term Tn of an arithmetic series is given by Tn equals 2n plus 5. Find the first term A and the common difference. So to do a question like this, you're going to have T1 equals 2 times 1 plus 5, T2 being 2 times 2 plus 5, and T3 being 2 times 3 plus 5. What you'll find out here is that it goes up as 7, 9 and 11. So you can see that your first term is 7, so A equals 7, and your common difference between each one is going to be 2. So that's where you get your A and D value from. Okay, so your A and D value there. Okay, for part 2, for what value of n is the sum of the first n terms equal to 160? To get 10 marks on the board, what would be a good formula to write down? Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Once again, if you're just trying to pick up marks without too much more thinking, what would be a good idea from part 1? Sub in the a and d. Okay, 2 times a, which is 2 times 7, 14. D is the number 2, so what's 2 times n and minus 1? 2n minus 2. Then that will give me n over 2 into 12 plus 2n. Multiply the top, 12n plus 2n squared, all over 2. What happens when you divide both those numbers by 2? 6n plus n. Yes, David? Huh? Oh, yeah.
Huh? So, what we have here, guys, is Sn equals 6n. So, Sn equals 6n plus n squared. What does this formula do in the context of this question? It tells you the sum of all the terms. If I put down S3 as an example, this formula, when I replace n with 3, it will tell me what T1 plus T2 plus T3 is. It will tell me what the three of them added together will be. Okay? So, given that in mind, we now want our Sn to equal 160. How many terms does it take to add up to 160? So put that equal to 160. So what we have is n squared plus 6n. Bring over to 160. Minus 160 equals 0. Now, run through 160. What two numbers should we use? Minus 160 is going to be 16 and... which one's negative? The 16 is positive and the 10 is negative at the moment. Why did that happen that way? Why did one of them have to be plus and the other one minus? Huh? It's a minus reference number. And then they have to add to make the middle 6. So you're going to have n plus 16, n minus 10 equals 0. N can't be equal to minus 16. Why is that the case? You've heard of T1, you've heard of T2. Have you ever heard of T minus 16? You haven't, and it doesn't exist. You have the first term, the second term, the third term, the fourth term. It's like a race. You can come 5th or 6th. You can't come minus 5th or minus 6th. So minus numbers aren't allowed. So therefore the answer must be n minus 10 equals 0, n equals 10. 10 terms. So that's it. I think I did that one yesterday, did I? Okay. Now, this one here, number 20. Pupils saving money. First week, T1. What does T1 stand for in this question? How much money do you save in week 1? 40. How much in week 2? Week 3. And then, okay. We can keep counting down all the way to T50, but that's going to take a mammoth amount of effort. Okay? Anybody have a better suggestion? Tn formula? And what's the Tn formula? Okay, A value. The D value. Then what happens next? 40 plus 20n minus 20. After that? 20n plus 20. Now, what this Tn formula does for you is if you put in n equals 1, what will the answer be? If you replace n with 1, what's the answer going to be? 40. If you put in n equals 2, n equals 3. So it'll give you any term you want, just by using one formula. We want to find out what T50 is. So anybody know what T50 is? 20 times 50 plus 20? 1020. Okay, many people get that last night? 1020? Okay, the majority. Okay, now, if we're to add these all together, if I was to add the first 3 weeks together, 40 plus 60 plus 80, what is that? Is that T3 or S3? If I add them together, S3. S3 would be, S3 means how much do you have in total after 3 weeks. So what am I looking for if you want me to find out how much will I have saved after 50 weeks? What am I looking for? T50 or S50? S50. So to use S50, we're going to use Sn. Sn equals n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, and Sn is going to be equal to, we can put in the 50 right away if you want, but we'll just keep it the same. What's a again? A is 40. 2 times 40? 80. And then that's 20 again, so multiplying the 20. 20n minus 20. Add them together, and we get 20n plus 60. Now what's the n value? What do we say the n value is? How many weeks are we looking for it? 50, so n equals 50. So 50 over 2, bracket 20 times 50 plus 60. So what you get here, guys? Put it all in. Sam? How many people got 26,500? Okay, we're good, right, happy. Okay. What you have is you start off on €30,000 salary. Each year she gets a new salary, increase in her salary. T1 is 30,000. T2 will be 32,000. Now T2 means how much did she get at the end of the second year. T3 would mean how much did she get at the end of the third year. Okay, you want her total earnings. What's the A value? What's the D value? Okay, are we looking for T12 or S12? Can somebody explain the difference between T12 and the S12? What does T12 stand for? How much did you, in the context of this question, how much did you make in the 12th year only? And S12 is how much did you make, how much money did you make in the last 12 years? So we're looking for S12. So Sn equals n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 times d. And then after that, guys, what do we get? 2 times a, 60 grand, okay? And then 2,000 here, which is going to be 2,000 n minus 2,000. All n over 2 on the outside. Then if you want, you can change the n into 12. Now I just tend to keep everything the same a lot. Now just replace in n equals 12. 12 over 2, which is 6, times be 24,000 plus 58,000. What you get? 492,000. Not bad. Okay.